Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. So hopefully that you are all doing well. So today we will continue on purpose of valuation, but this time we looks on non-statutory valuation. Okay, previously we already learned on statutory valuations, but this time is on non-statutory valuation. Okay, so for non-statutory valuation, so this is the purpose that we gonna learn for this time. Okay, so it includes of sales and purchase purpose, rental and lease, mortgage valuations, auctions, foreclosure, Securities Commissions, fire insurance, merger and acquisition, and the last one is accounting. So this is part of non-statutory valuations. We have a lot, a new valuations such as business valuations, IP valuations. Okay, so but this time we only cover for this. Alright, so first we look on sales and purchase purpose of valuation. Okay, so it is normally appointed by the clients to value their property before he sell to the purchaser. So for sales and purchase purpose, okay, it is normally is appointed by the clients. Okay, the cases that valuers receive is appointed by the third parties or clients to value their property before he sell to the purchaser. Okay, in order to know the market value. Also appointed by the purchaser to value their property interested to make sure the value is within the market value. So the purpose of this valuation was conducted actually to make sure the property that they want to sell or they want to buy is within the market value. For this purpose, mostly for the property which is not a government property will be valued by private valuer. Okay, so normally for the sales and purchase cases, okay, for the non-government property, okay, will be valued by private valuer. Okay, otherwise will be valued by JPPH for the government buildings, government owned property. Okay, for the sales and purchase purposes, okay, it will be valued by JPPH. The function of JPPH here is to determine the fair and reasonable market value of the property to be purchased or to be disposed by the ministries and also government agencies. As mentioned before, all the governments owns properties, okay, before it could be purchased or could be disposed, okay, the properties need to be valued by the valuers. Okay, so for governments it is JPPH. Alright, so all ministries or government agencies intending to purchase or sell real property are required to refer to JPPH for an opinion of value of the property. So rules of JPPH here is to carry out valuation of the property identified for the purchase or sale by the ministry or government agencies. Okay, so a committee member of Jabatan Kuasa Rundingan Harta we set up at a ministerial or departmental level to negotiate the price, terms and conditions of the purchase. So JPPH here is responsible to conduct evaluations and also advise on the value and also negotiate for the price, and also the terms and conditions for the sale and purchase. Okay, so next one is for rental and lease. Alright. So normally, okay, this one also almost similar to the sales and purchase. It is appointed by the clients to value their property, but now here is for before they rent out to the tenants, or also appointed by the tenant to find out a rental value towards their property interested to make sure the rental value is within the market value. So because of this one is for rental and lease, okay, so the valuation is done actually to make sure the rental offer, alright, is within the market rental. It's not market value, it's just market rental. Okay, so for this purpose, mostly for the property which is not government property, it will be determined by the rental value will be determined by private valuer. Okay, otherwise for the government buildings, okay, the rentals and lease, okay, valuation will be conducted by JPPH. Okay, for example, office space, okay, occupied by government agencies in privately owned buildings. Okay, so if the governments decided to rent the office space that owned by the private owned buildings, okay, the buildings is owned by the individuals or organization, or it is a privately owned. Okay, so before any government agencies decide to rent that particular buildings, the office buildings, they need to look for the advice by the JPPH first. Alright. Okay, so another example is vacant lands which are government reserved or privately owned. Okay, so if the if the involve of the vacant lands, okay, vacant lands means tanah kosong, okay, which are government reserve, okay, which is owned by the governments. Maybe governments want to lease, okay, that particular vacant land to any organizations or privates or corporation or whatsoever. Also they need to seek an advice from the JPPH on the rental value and the lease value to be offered, or maybe on the rental offered to be accepted. Or premises owned by government agencies and statutory bodies. Okay, this is another examples whereby the premises that owned by the government agencies, okay, that they decide to rent out. Okay, and also the last one is plant and machineries. Either it is by the governments or it's owned by the private companies, but the government agency want to lease or rent that particular plant and machineries. Also need to refer to the JPPH opinions. Okay, so next one is mortgage valuations. Alright. So mortgage purposes actually is more towards is relating to the financial institutions. Okay, so the mortgage is a situation when a borrower needs to make a housing loan either from the public or private sector. Mortgage is okay, normally peoples will buy a property, okay, through mortgage or borrow a loan, okay, they borrowed from bank, okay, because of it's very rare, okay, people buying it in cash, okay, because of the property value, as you know, is very is quite high, okay, it is, and we could say that it is investment that needs you to spend a lot of money, okay, in order to get one unit of the property. So um, we could say that it is possible, okay, to buy it cash for the ordinary peoples, okay. Alright, so that's why the purpose of a mortgage or financings valuation is exists, okay, because of the before the financial institutions decides how much that they want to give a loan for that property, the property should be valued first, okay. Alright, so by doing so, a property is needed as the collateral and being mortgaged to the financial institutions, as mentioned before, okay. This is happen when the property uh, is purchased, okay, through bank loan, okay. That so therefore the property that you buy will be used as a collateral, okay, as a cagaran lah, okay. Okay, therefore, mortgage valuation refers to the valuation exercise which is carried out by the valuer to determine capital value of the landed property. This valuation exercise are carried out for both public and private sectors, and the amount of loan approved is depending on the capital value of the house. Normally, the amount of loans approved by financial institution is based on the capital value or market value that been valued by the professional valuer, okay, either it is from privates or governments loan applications. Okay, so next one is auction, okay, auctions or foreclosure, okay, so it is actually the same things. Auctions and foreclosure is the same things. Alright, it is a valuation exercise will normally be instructed by the financial institutions to determine a reserve price, or also known as a for sale value, okay. But layman words is more towards reserve price, okay. But for the property peoples, we call it as a for sale value, but it actually give the same meanings. Okay, for sale value actually will be lower than market value that can be sold at the public auctions. So normally the for sale value, the value is slightly below compared to market value. It is normally 70 to 80% below than a market value, and this particular value, this for sale value, we call it as a reserve price, okay, during the auction. So or it means that it is the first price offer in the public auction. This is the lowest price that can be offered for that property. Okay, these situations, okay, the auction situation refers to where the owner fail to pay his loan installment for a certain period. I think this one maybe you're quite familiar, okay, because of you will not you know, I think you should know this, okay. When people make a loan, okay, and they are able to pay the loan installment for a certain period of time, okay, so the property will be auctioned by the bank, by the financial institutions. Okay, I think you're quite familiar with this situation. Okay, so the financial institution has a right to sell the property to recover their loan which has been approved. Okay, so the financial institution is they are actually need, okay, to do the auctions, okay, to auction your property in order to get back the loan that they already given to you, because of now you are unable to pay the monthly installments. Okay, so how they want to cover up to get back the amount of money that they already gave to you. So this is the way how they need to do in order to get back the amount of money that already given to you. Alright. Okay, if that have the balance, it will be given to the property owner. Let's say if the sale of the property at that time through this auction, okay, it is higher than the amount of loan that you, the outstanding loan that you not paid, okay, so means that the balance, okay, will be given back lah to the owner of the property. The financial institution only take a portion that outstanding balance, okay, of the loan, outstanding balance of the loans. They just will take it on that particular amounts. If that have the balance, so the balance will be given to the property owner. Okay, so next purpose is Securities Commissions. So the rules of valuer is to ensure the property will be valued, okay, assets will be valued and the property will be valued on the reasonable value to protect the interest of public. This one is more towards um, to make sure the securities of our, what we call it as, saham lah, okay, listed share, okay, either it is public listed or public listed share or whatsoever, okay. So before they publicly publish their share, okay, in the bursa, okay, so they need to go through the Securities Commission in order to make sure the asset of the companies, okay, is in good conditions or not. Okay, this one is actually to protect the interest of public. Alright, so it is quite difficult for the companies to cheat or to do a fraud. Okay, alright, so I think this one is the last one. Okay, fire insurance. Alright, for fire insurance, companies wanting to protect themselves against total or partial loss of their real estate, particularly buildings and machinery from fire or other unexpected calamities, would value such property to determine their replacement or restatement cost. Okay, so actually is we do this valuation is to determine the fire insurance value. Okay, so how we determine the fire insurance value is by looking at the whether the replacement or reinstatement costs. Okay, so they would then have to take up the appropriate insurance cover so that the sum insured will cover the cost of replacement or restatement as recommended by the valuer in the valuation reports. And normally, it is an application for such valuation are received together with requests for housing loan purposes. Alright, so before this, we already learned on mortgage valuations. This one actually is also known as the housing loans purpose of financing. Okay, if you apply for housing loans, okay, so automatically the fire insurance value, the fire insurance valuation will be conducted at the same time because of in the valuation reports for housing loans, a valuer needs to put together the fire insurance value and also the forced sale value. Okay, so as a valuer, when you do a valuation for housing loan applications, okay, so whatever it is you will required to do, actually three purpose of valuations. Other than you do the valuation to determine the market value for housing loan purposes itself, you also need to value the fire insurance value, and also you need to value the forced sale value. Okay, so this one is another one, okay, that required, which is fire insurance value. So fire insurance value is actually by referring to the replacement or reinstatement cost, whereby this amount is actually, we call it as the amount that will be insured with the fire insurance. Okay, so I think this one is the last one, okay, for the non-statutory valuation. So if you have any problems or not very clear with this, so you can personally text me or can text me in a group discussion. Okay, another one point. Nevertheless, there are also other agencies who request valuation with regard to plant and machinery and equipment to determine insurance value. Okay, so other than property. So sometimes, okay, the companies or agencies, okay, request valuations of fire insurance regarding to plant and machineries and also the equipment. Okay. Okay, we got another one, merger and acquisition. Alright, so this valuation, okay, actually is conducted when a company wants to be united with another of the same size company to form a large joint entity. It is called a merger. Okay, so when a company decided to unite, okay, to merge, okay, with another company, so before they is allowed to merge, so both assets, okay, both companies asset will be valued first. Okay, it is to determine the fair price of their respective shares. Okay, similarly, when a larger company wants to acquire a smaller company, okay, which is an acquisition, okay, so the real estate of the smaller outfit will also need to be valued to determine the fair price of the shares. Okay, merger is the company want to merge. Maybe they have a same size, almost the same size, so they want to merge. Okay, so acquisitions is takeover. Okay, so when the larger company wants to take over a smaller company. Okay, so it happens a lot in Malaysia. So you can see on the merger of financial institution, for example, like bank. Previously, we have Bank Bumiputra. Okay, previously we have Bank Bumiputra, and then they merge with Bank Commons Bank, so it becomes Bumiputra Commons. Okay, so then the Bumiputra Commons combined with the Southern Bank, so it becomes CIMB, just like that lah. Alright, so another one is like Sime Darby. They acquire Guthrie and a lot. Okay, and then all of the companies now become Sime Darby. For example, it's like that. Okay, so for the merger and acquisition, I think this one is the last slide. Okay. Alright, so another one, accounting. Okay, so I'm sure this one is the last slide. Okay, so when companies want to issue new shares to existing or new shareholders, or when they want to accurately reflect the true value of their real estate on their balance sheets, okay, they will be advised by the accountants to periodically value or revalue their real estate assets. So accounting purposes is normally conducted by the companies, okay, when they want to do their annual financial reports. Okay, laporan laporan tahunan keuangan ke laporan keuangan tahunan. Okay, their yearly annual financial reports. So that particular companies need to value their of course their what we call it as a in and out cash, and also they also need to value all their assets. So as a valuers, okay, valuation firms, normally we will be appointed to value the real estate assets of the companies. Okay, so other than that, we are not directly involved. But for the the annual financial reports, we only involve to value the real estate assets. So that particular value normally is requested by the accountant of the companies, because they want to do a financial reports as mentioned before. Okay, normally this case we will receive, okay, end of the year, because of financial report they will do it on the end of the year. Alright.